We've got the absolute unicorn here. Obviously, here's the Lotus Exosphere. And you had to go, whoops. Well, I wrecked it. Ruined it. That's what I do.
That's right. These are the old ones.
Yeah, but we need to keep those. Oh, yes. Oh, individual throttle bodies. We're not eccentric and weird here, and I am totally helping these people out. Let's be as awkward as possible. Okay. You guys have asked that we're finally back to do some videos of Genius Garage and the students. So I got my silly projects and stuff back here, and of course the Genius Garage like and hyper stored, hanging out in storage. But here, boom, is the Genius Garage room. So this is the room that used to have the Sopwith camo biplane that I mentored some students with building, some engineering students, aerospace, that sort of thing, back a number of years ago. Well, recently Genius Garage sold that, and we've made this room become race central for the awesome Genius Garage cars. We've got the absolute unicorn here. It's one of only 2 Riley Daytona prototypes built with the Dinan built V10, making 740 horsepower. It's really awesome. That's what the guys are working on today. We're gonna show you. Obviously, here's the Lotus Exosphere, driven by Jeremy Clarkson and the Stig on Top Gear. This is the one from that show. And then, of course, up here in the front, if you check it out, we've got our IndyCar project, boom, which we didn't get done last year because of some setbacks. But we'll be getting back on that, and that, of course, for you guys that are coming back, you see the Honda K series. It's going to be a great platform for engineering and engine building in the future once we get it together and back turned into a car again. By the way, if anybody has an end mill, that would be helpful because we have a little bit of machining we have to fix after a mistake last year. And then last but not least, we got the Genius Garage, one of the Genius Garage carts here, with which Andres over on the car you're going to meet in a second has actually just gotten going. It's running, it looks great. This is a used car, Genius Garage bought, and I think it's good engineering, hands-on. It's a place to get your like feet wet, and obviously have some fun with engineering, meeting it on the track and doing. So that's what's going on there. But anyway, you guys, here, check this out. I'm gonna walk around the car, show it to you, and then let's talk to the guys. But right here, so I'm sorry you don't get to see the car with the bodywork on. It's really cool. Maybe I'll throw a picture up there to you. But check out this drivetrain. Here, of course, is the transaxle or the gearbox. You can see that this area here is what's called the bell housing. And if you look down in there, you can see the sensor wheel. That funny tooth thing looks like a crown, and the clutch. Of course, it has a throwout bearing slave cylinder right there. There's your differential, that round area. And then this is where all of your gears are for this gearbox. And then this is a crush zone to make it a little safer. It's a high pressure air tank because it in fact has an air shifter, and this is what shifts the transaxle. It's a sequential transaxle gearbox. And then this particular high pressure line goes all the way up here to the throttle bodies. You can see how it works, both sets of individual throttle bodies, but this high pressure ram will bang it on the downshifts to give it its blip. And I know you guys, oh, you want to see it? Oh, yes. Oh, individual throttle bodies. That's what I'm talking about, right? I know you guys like that. That's the money shot. But anyway, there it is. That is the BMW V10 that's used in the M5. Of course, this one was built by Dinan, so it is bored and stroked to the extreme. Hotter cams, it got rid of the variable cam timing, individual throttle bodies all tuned, makes 740 horsepower on the dyno. In fact, if you look it up for Dinan, you can actually see this engine being dynoed. Now, the problem is this engine and gearbox are tired, don't work, and are all screwed up. Blown head gaskets, for one. So fortunately, over here in this box, I will open it up. This is the motor that was at Legacy Autosport that Butch Meyer, who is the grandson of the famed Louis Meyer, has taken apart and resealed for us at Genius Garage. So the engine's got a little bit of time on it, but he went through, checked all the bearings, checked everything out, and it's been totally sealed with new head gaskets, and also I think it's going to be great for Genius Garage. So this is our so-called fresh motor that we're going to be taking and putting in the Daytona Prototype with the guys. So Andres here is from California, and Sean, he gets around all over the place. Sean, where are you technically from?
I am from the Pittsburgh area.
These guys are getting their feet wet here. It's really cool. Carry on, sorry. So yes, that motor is gonna go in this car. But the beauty of it is by getting to dive into a race car like this, it's the opportunity for these young engineers and these guys who want to learn about motorsports technical things they actually get to take something professional, take it apart, and learn about all the systems and how it goes together, the fabrication styles, the systems and everything, and figure it out. So I love getting people started like this because it's a fantastic way to learn. And then obviously when we get this apart carefully, they see how it goes together and how it's done. And then we're gonna clean it all up, figure out all the systems, look for anything wrong, and then we're gonna start taking the transaxle. We do have another transaxle, and mounting it up with that, getting everything together, and crossing our fingers that it'll work. I think it will. But I hope you guys are gonna enjoy coming back for Genius Garage. Did a lot more videos last year and whatnot, and sometimes I wonder if I did too many, but I know a lot of people want to see what we got going on, so this is it. And then of course the Lotus Exosphere. This is just an unreal car here. Absolutely crazy, Formula One technology, current. And right now it's up on stands, so it's not sitting on the tires or the springs. And actually it has to stay plugged in at all times for the battery. And every week you have to turn the motor over by hand so it doesn't sit on the same valve spring. So requires maintenance even just sitting there. But that's gonna come a little later. We gotta do it perfect. So we gotta graduate the guys from this to that. So let's go, let's switch this camera off and talk to them and see what's going on. Would you be so kind as to hold the camera first and I can talk to Sean the sheep? I call him Sean the sheep because he laughs exactly the same. He goes like this. Yes. Okay. Let's be as awkward as possible.
Okay.
Okay, dude, so we haven't done a video yet together, have we?
Nope.
Not really? So what do you think of the Daytona Prototype?
It's very cool. A lot going on. It's cool taking it all apart and just kind of seeing how it works and learning on the way.
So what have you seen so far that is not, or what about it is totally just straightforward and relates to skills you already had from wrenching on cars? And what are you seeing that you're like, whoa, this is some pretty serious stuff?
Yeah, I mean the whole rear suspension here, the rear sway bar that had the adjustable.
Oh yeah,
it's gone now, but we took that out today. But that was totally new to me that I've never seen before, where we can actually adjust it on the fly. I don't know if it's at the toe in, toe out, or.
Well, that's for the sway bar, the anti-roll.
Oh, so just okay, yeah. So how it adjusts.
They have the sway fins, and then it had the cable, which goes from the cockpit, and then that would rotate the sway fin and let it go from stiffer to softer.
Yeah, so that was cool to see. These brake ducts where it actually cools the brakes.
Was it interesting to see where that was with regard to it being a higher pressure on the bodywork, but it doesn't seem like a place that'd be a high pressure?
Exactly, yeah. It doesn't seem like that'd be where it would go, but because usually the brake ducts are in the front, and then so yeah, and then seeing this pressure system where you actually shift, because I've seen hydraulic stuff before, but never like an air system. What do you think about just the enormous size, physical size of that engine and this drivetrain here? Yeah, I mean the engine, I mean the transaxle and transmission, everything is all twice. It's larger than the engine, so it's pretty crazy how, I mean, like you're saying, it's not really made for this chassis, but they usually have the BMW V8s in it. Yeah. No, actually, they had the LS V8s in it. Oh, okay. That's why this one's a total unicorn, because it's the Riley 22 that was built for track days. So there's certain things about it that are built stronger. There's certain things that are built lighter for usage for long term. And then they didn't have to do by the normal rules of Daytona Prototype racing, so it could make more power and downforce. So theoretically should be faster and more reliable. So if you notice, it's actually got lug bolts, a 5 pattern instead of a center lock. It's a little simpler. Easier to, but it still has really incredible tires. I mean, it's just and then the wheels and all the componentry is super high end. But yeah, we saw the RFID chip in the tire. Yeah, in the tire. I don't know if it's reading temperature, pressure, or both, but yeah. Well, and the other thing you'll notice, it is a steel 2-frame chassis with all the carbon parts and things, riveted, bonded, etc., with air jacks. But this chassis makes the engine and the transaxle not have to be stressed. They're not stressed, which is kind of nice for something you're going to have for a long time period, because you're not stressing stuff out. It weighs a little bit more than it would have to, but the car is hence faster because it makes more downforce and more horsepower. So I think in some ways it makes it just easier, but it does create some structure because it bolts to everything super rigidly. But yeah, it was nice because they had the intake, it was everything, and that's from the normal M5, M6. Right. So that was kind of factory, and that was cool how they just kept that and just added to it. So cool. What are you working on right now? What are you guys struggling with? Now we're trying to get to take the the right side headers off.
Yeah.
We have 2 bolts left, and they're the hardest ones. So
I get it. Yeah, don't feel too bad. I used to have to take headers off of Ferrari 512s, and that was a nightmare from the underworld.
At least these aren't rusted on, so these are nice.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, cool. You excited about keep going and getting another motor in here and figuring out all the systems? And
Yep. Yeah, it'll be nice to hear this thing, this V10 roar. So
are you happy with the experience? Like, does this feel worthwhile?
yeah, definitely. I mean, this is, get a chance to work on these ever or any day. So.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's 2 of these, and I never get to see them otherwise. Well, cool, man. Thanks. I'm going to talk to Andres. Do you want to be the camera guy?
Sure.
Should I be awkward with him?
Yeah, more awkward.
I don't know. I don't want to try to be awkward with Andres. He's good at it. He'll make me awkward. You're making me feel awkward.
I know. That's the point.
We have to have human resources training right now. You're invading my personal space.
I'm getting reported.
I feel triggered and uncomfortable. What's going on,
Guess
dude?
that's a lawsuit.
A lawsuit? I'm going to sue myself. What's going on with you, dude?
With me?
Yeah.
Well, I've been mostly working on the Lycan until that got basically done.
we got
now.
that done. Yeah.
But now I've been working on the Genius Garage cart.
Let's look at the cart, because that's kind of been your project in finishing it up. Aaron was jamming on it for a little bit, but what have you learned about this, and what's been weird, what's been easy, and how you
I'd
feeling?
say the biggest thing that I've learned to appreciate working on this cart is like the small tuning of things to get things just right. Like for example, like the brake system. Like that's something that we did today. Well, that you mostly did today, and they showed me.
No, I didn't.
And
I didn't do that much. I adjusted. I fixed one broken thing.
Well, I learned it from
and then
you.
I told you where to go. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I didn't do. I'm not. Yeah.
But yeah, I also like just the shims too for the brakes.
Yeah, you had
that's
to.
something that like not everyone would know about. You can just have like it work without shims, but with shims, it can engage earlier.
Right, definitely. So as a note, so these are the brake calipers on the cart, and it has the hydraulic line going to both sides of it. So unlike some automotive calipers where the fluid moves from one side of the caliper to the other internally, it works right here. He's trying to help me with the mic, but little does he know this mic is fancy and sophisticated. But well done. So it doesn't go internally, so these shims here are for spacing, and we have the ability to move the rotor left and right to center it. But the other interesting thing about this cart and the cars, they're not brand new and perfect.
No.
So oftentimes, what's such a good learning opportunity for you and other people is, so this rotor is slightly warped. That's right. It's also a floating rotor to some degree, but it is warped. So how do you take something that's not perfect and make it work in a racing environment? So what did we do to make the warping of the rotor not be too much of an issue?
So the first thing that you did was with the brakes. Wasn't that right?
Don't ask me. I'm asking you so you can sound smart.
Right. Yes.
Act
So
confident.
the first thing that we did.
He's learning.
The first thing that we did was we made the brakes engage earlier, so that way it was a more consistent feel, and also we reduced the space of this. Actually, let me.
That's correct. What do you mean on earlier? The pedal was really low. You had to push it too far.
Here are the old spacers for on the calipers. What do you say these are, Casey? Maybe like
Well, they're aluminum. I don't know the thickness. They're darn near an eighth of an inch.
But I made thinner one of these and for there.
Yep. So he
that's
made
part
thinner
of the fine
shims.
tuning for the brake calipers.
Yep. And you had to go. Whoops. Well, I wrecked it. Ruined it. That's what I do.
Right, these are the old ones.
Yeah, but we need to keep those.
Oh,
No,
yeah?
they're not trash. Keep that stuff. Those are spares. That's how you tune this stuff.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Gosh, newbies.
I'm still learning. Yeah.
Okay, anyway, so you made some new ones out of sheet aluminum. That's good. That's basic fabrication. That's the kind of things you learn. Even on the IndyCar. Let's go. I want to show you something else. You haven't seen this. But the way to adjust camber. Look, Andres, there's these plates here. See them?
More shims, huh?
Those are shims to adjust the camber on the rear of this Reynard from the 90s. So the experience you just got dialing in these brakes translates directly to even an Indy car in some ways. So, but you did a good job, and this is a good place to learn it. So you shimmed it closer together, so the pads would be closer to the disc.
Yes. So
but
when
not
engaged,
touching.
have a better brake feel. Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you got a good brake feel, so that's pretty good. And
it's warped, so it moves side to side a little bit. But
yeah.
got to count for that.
We have to have a little extra play, but it's okay. So it's coming along pretty good. Should we tell them about me screwing up?
How come?
I don't know. I'd like to be honest on YouTube.
Sure, I guess so.
They did a really good job putting the cart together in the seat, and they went to test it in the parking lot. And I'm like, what are you doing driving this thing? You don't even have safety glasses on. And it shoots rocks up and stuff like that. And then I'm like, well, I want to try it. And I proceeded to drive it in a manner that was not conducive to the standard I was trying to set, and I may have broken something. Sometimes I have to keep myself in check. It doesn't work. Okay, so anyway, so Daytona Prototype, you want to check that out?
Yeah.
So
We're excited for this. I can't wait to hear it running.
you should be excited to go test this thing. You're going to get to drive it soon. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so Andres, tell...
Test drive the other day, I was smiling the entire time.
Yeah, and you weren't even on track or anything.
No, not
Okay.
even.
All right, dude. So, Daytona Prototype as a whole, what do you think of this car? The whole thing?
I think it's an amazing opportunity for us. There's so much that we can learn from this and just experience from this too.
Good answer. Very running
Vague.
for office type of an answer, or job interview. Okay, now give me the normal car dude answer. So what do you think of this car?
It's pretty cool, yeah. I can't wait to hear the V10.
Yeah, that's
How much does it rev to?
sound
Like
nasty.
8,000?
I don't really know. Maybe 8 grand.
7,500?
Honestly, it probably revs higher, but I don't want to blow it up.
Oh, yeah,
so
of
we're going
course.
to be a little nice to it, because if we do everything well, we should be able to win without having overly stressed the motor. So, plus, since I'm trying
I look
to
forward
run a
to that.
nonprofit, if we don't blow up expensive things, it's kind of a really good thing for the future.
Of course, yeah.
But anyway, okay, so what systems on here are you working on so far? I know you basically just jumped in today.
Yeah.
Because Sean already got the bodywork and rear off and stuff. But what are you working on now? What's interesting?
I guess the headers, yeah. So I was kind of lighting it for Sean.
Your battery's
My phone
going to
is
die. You want to turn it off?
still there. Yeah, sure.
Sorry, buddy. So you guys are taking the headers off, and then what are the next steps after that? And why are you taking them off now?
Because eventually we have to take out the engine.
Correct.
And probably we'll need to take out that sump too. Or can that stay, do you think?
This tank?
Yeah.
We're going to... Actually, I don't know. We'll have to look at that.
Yeah. But anyways,
We might take it out with the engine.
for now, yeah, the headers, and we'll have to do the left side as well.
I got to be honest with you. Have you thought about the process that we're going to remove all this from? Because I'm going to be straight. This engine and that transaxle are ridiculously physically large. I mean, it's crazy how big they are.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to take the transaxle out first and then take the engine out next? Or are we going to like clear the way and lift the motor and put the transaxle on a dolly or something? We could just quit and go home.
We could.
Should we do that?
We may have to, put it on a dolly, but like kind of move it around so to make most of the space that we have in there with the headers gone and, disconnect it from the transaxle.
That was a vague answer. You mean disconnect
I
the transaxle and get it, just lift it a little and get it on a dolly and out, and then worry about the motor?
Yeah. Because then we have more space to work with. We could move the engine by itself and to clear everything.
It'll take a little more time, allegedly, but it'll be a lot more manageable and safer. So that's probably a really good idea.
That's my go-to.
All right, so we don't have too much to talk about on details yet because we're just getting this apart to see what's going on with it. And then we got to go through the systems and clean everything up before we start thinking of putting that one in. Okay. So do you have any predictions or schedules or proposals or anything with this? You want to make any bets? I like making bets.
What should we bet about?
When will it run? How soon will it run? Sean, you want to get on this bet action? It's got to be competitive. What do you say, camera guy Sean?
My guess, 3 weeks or less.
In 3 weeks it's going to be running?
Yeah.
What is this? June 13th. Okay.
Oh, is that?
That's
that'll be in
good. So
July.
you're saying basically by the 4th of July it'll be running with that engine. You think so, Sean?
Yeah, 4 weeks.
4 weeks?
What are you going to go 5?
If this was now the problem is all the racing people are watching. They're already like yelling at the camera screen.
Oh.
What if I said we had to have this running by Friday?
Well, with a lot of overtime, I'm sure we could do it.
That's a good answer. We don't have to do that.
Yeah.
We're going to take our time so you guys can learn
we have
about
a good
everything.
schedule. Yeah.
But if you're doing this at a professional place, 3 or 4 weeks would not cut it.
No.
You would not be employed very long. But that's okay because we're learning here.
Not professionals.
Even Sean the sheep. Wait, you say you're not professionals and then giggle? But you're here to learn. What? You want to be awkward? Nothing to say.
No, we're not professionals, but yes, we can get it done.
You guys will be good. It'll be cool. I have a child coming in July, so that's
Be the
gonna.
deadline.
What?
That'll be the deadline.
It's not necessarily the deadline. It's just saying that I'm going to be somewhat more useless in July. So actually, yeah, that's probably a pretty good deadline to Not necessarily get it running, but get a lot done by the 4th of July.
Yeah.
If you want me to help a ton. So, okay, so there's this.
That'll start up right now.
Are you looking forward to the Exosphere?
Yeah, I am. That one doesn't really need much work other than don't break it.
We got to do new push rods.
Yeah.
And put it back on the pads and understand the systems perfectly. And we need to go over it. Because if it hurts itself, it's really bad.
Yeah.
But it doesn't need as much as that.
Yeah. It doesn't have a blown engine that we have to take out and put back in. So.
True. Hopefully it never does. Okay. That's all right. I just feel like there should be some sort of excellent wisdom at the end, people. How do you feel with the lichen being done? You want to walk back there real quick? Come on, Andres.
Cool. Got some good photos.
So I know you guys came in at the end and finishing it off, and it was cool, but easy, but kind of stressful. What does this project mean to you, getting to finish it after it being a big 2-year project for Genius Garage?
It was really good just to be able to finish it off. A lot of work, a lot of time went into this, and we didn't want to mess anything up, and we just wanted to make it look just as good when the finishing touches. So.
Totally.
So,
almost
yeah.
done. I have to admit, I'm really relieved.
Yeah, it's very stressful, especially the last day before the M1 concourse and it started smoking, so that was nice to fix.
Yeah, which was nothing really wrong with the car. It was a stupid engine oil separator. So we capped that off for the event, no smoking. We'll obviously replace it. The car's perfect. We are going to take this to the Cars and Coffee in Columbus in the Arena District. I think it's like Saturday the 25th or 6th of June, so that'd be cool. So if you guys are in Columbus, we're going to bring this and possibly the Exosphere. So that's it, guys. That's what's going on for Genius Garage. So the front room up there is now Genius Garage primarily, and then the back room back here has got my silly things in it. And cameraman, don't crash into the motorcycle behind you. I just saved his life. Okay, so back here is going to be my silly things for YouTube and whatnot. Dirty fabrication, any dirty fabrication that Genius Garage has to do, and then of course storage for Genius Garage for like the Lyca and the Corvette. But yeah, that's what's going on. So come back. We're going to keep doing. I'll do some more videos with Genius Garage, and we'll be fixing up the room, getting the cars ready, and of course looking forward to bringing them out. You guys can come back in. So that's it. And also, if anybody knows like a sponsor or a deal we can get for a nicer floor or tiling, like for a race shop, that would help a lot. Because we're trying to make an old 40s Quonset hut that leaks a lot be suitable for a Formula One program. Andres is showing you our terrible floor. But yeah, that's it. And also, I'm curious, as a final shout out before we go, who remembers Mr. Owl? Do you guys remember that? Only the OGs on the channel will. And Sean's looking at me like,
Is that the lollipop?
Lollipop?
Like the,
Oh, you mean like for racing?
no, the Tootsie Pop commercials, like, hey, let's get to
No, he's the grandson of the kid that, or the owl that would steal, didn't it steal turtles? Lollipop?
yeah.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? Yeah, no, this is the grand owl of that one.
Okay.
That was in the 80s.
Wasn't there, I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, guys, we're not eccentric and weird here, and I am totally helping these people out. They're smiling. He's smiling. Look at Sean the sheep. Smiling's diminished. All right. Daytona Prototype, Super Unicorn, Lotus Exosphere, Super Unicorn, Genius Garage. It's a cool thing. These are guys here. More coming, and please subscribe. Show your support with the students down below in the comments, and I'll see you next time.